Utah's winter basin was always strange. Locals whispered of lights in the sky, strange creatures roaming the night, and ancient spirits that should never be disturbed. The land itself felt wrong, like it could watch, remember, and retaliate. Long before ranchers arrived, the Ute tribe had already marked it as cursed. They called it a place of the Skinwalkers, witches who could take on the form of beasts, born of hatred and ceremony. They said these beings weren't just stories, they were hunters, and this land was theirs. But when the Sherman family bought the property in the 1990s, they had no idea what they were walking into. Cattle mutilations, strange lights, disembodied voices, creatures that defied biology, and eyes glowing red in the trees would soon make this land world famous. The government would get involved, scientists would flee in terror, and the question would remain, was it cursed? Or was something older, something far worse, simply calling it home? When the Shermans first moved to the ranch in 1994, they were relieved. The land was isolated, the fields lush, and the opportunities endless. But something was wrong from the beginning. Fences would be found open, though tightly wired the night before. Massive claw marks gouged wooden posts. They found their prize bull inexplicably relocated, alive but paralyzed, inside a locked trailer. Then came the mutilations. Cattle were discovered dead with surgical precision. Organs removed without blood, skin burned or missing entirely. Predators never approached the carcasses. Whatever had done it, it was not natural. They began to sense they were being watched. Sometimes it wasn't a feeling. It was real. Red eyes blinked from the tree line at night, higher than any man could stand. When they shined light toward them, the creatures never flinched. Sometimes the light seemed to pass through them. The dogs barked constantly. Then one night, 3 of them chased something into the woods and never returned. In the morning, the Shermans found black, greasy piles of ash where the dogs had been. Nothing else. And that's when they knew they were not alone here. They began seeing lights, at first distant, like stars misplaced in the wrong part of the sky. But then they moved, they danced, they dipped below the tree line. Sometimes they hovered, other times they blinked out, then reappeared over the field silently. One night, a blue orb floated near a cow. As they approached, the cow collapsed, convulsed, and died. The autopsy revealed a burst heart, but no sign of trauma. The Shermans started keeping guns nearby, but nothing could prepare them for the creature. A wolf, enormous, shaggy, with dull yellow fur and eyes like hot coals, approached them. It was calm. Then it grabbed a calf by the snout and wouldn't let go. They shot it, again and again. Chunks flew off, but it didn't bleed. It didn't slow. Then it walked away, vanishing into the woods. The track stopped abruptly in the dirt, as if it had never existed at all. They told neighbors. They told police. Everyone already knew. No one would say it aloud. News spread. Soon, a research group backed by a government-affiliated agency took interest. The ranch changed hands. Scientists with advanced equipment arrived. Cameras were placed across the property. Observations began. The phenomenon didn't stop. It changed. It responded. They recorded heat signatures from beings that weren't visible to the eye. Electronics malfunctioned. Batteries drained in seconds. A physicist was knocked unconscious by an invisible force while standing on a ridge. Radiation spikes were measured when no radioactive materials existed. Time distortions occurred. Watches and GPS units drifted, out of sync with the world around them. One night, a security guard reported seeing a portal in the sky. Through it, he claimed, was a blue sky. At night, something crawled out. They tried to track it. It disappeared like smoke in the wind. Some researchers refused to stay after what they'd seen. One man packed his bags in the middle of the night and drove without stopping. No data could explain it. No pattern could be found. And worst of all, the activity seemed to watch them back. The local Ute tribe, who lived near the property, had long refused to step foot on the ranch. Their elders had passed down stories for generations. The land was poisoned by skinwalkers, shapeshifters who could mimic voices, control minds, and bend reality. Once they were people, now they were something else. It was said they walked only at night, that they fed on fear, that they were born from betrayal, transformed by ritual into monsters. The Sherman Ranch, they said, lay on a place where something ancient was buried or released. There were stories older than memory, of men who disappeared without a trace, of creatures seen at the edge of dreams, of cries in the night that didn't belong to anything living. The warnings had always been there, but no one had listened. Years passed. Owners changed. Studies were buried, but the activity never stopped. Tourists who trespassed at night told of glowing figures near the fence line. UFO researchers captured footage of orbs and lost it mysteriously. Cattle still died in bizarre ways. One investigator, while reviewing footage from a surveillance tower, saw himself being watched from the opposite ridge. A figure stood there, motionless, long after the team had left that area. It had not been human. The new owners tried to restrict access, but rumors leaked. The property was still active, the land was alive, and it never forgot those who disturbed it. Some believe Skinwalker Ranch is a government testing ground. Others say it's a dimensional weak point. But those who spend time there all agree on one thing. You don't go looking for answers on the ranch, because something there is always watching, and sometimes it answers back. Skinwalker Ranch remains one of the most investigated and feared paranormal hotspots in the world. Decades of sightings, mutilations, encounters, and inexplicable data have done little to explain what truly resides there. If anything, each new investigation seems to feed the phenomenon, drawing it closer, making it bolder. The scientific instruments failed. The cameras blinked off when they were needed most. Testimonies became whispers, and truths were buried behind contracts and closed gates. Yet those who stepped onto that cursed ground rarely come back unchanged. To this day, ranch workers report strange lights in the sky. Voices whisper just out of reach. Creatures are glimpsed just once before fading into the trees. And somewhere in the distance, red eyes still watch from the ridge, never blinking, never leaving. The Ute legends warned of a place where the veil is thin, a place where evil moves freely, and the land itself holds memory. Perhaps this isn't just about skinwalkers or aliens or portals. Perhaps it's the land, and perhaps the land is hungry. If you think this story is over, think again. Darkness doesn't end, it waits, and the next one might be closer than you think. Subscribe before it finds you first.